because I have 4 older siblings who were getting married and having children, and I didn't have any plans to be any different. But at 17, I found myself out of yeshiva. I was thrown out for being gay, and trying to figure out what I was going to do. And there was a rabbi who referred me to JONAH, which is Jews Offering Alternatives to Homosexuality, the program that Wade Besson mentioned. And when I went to meet Mr. Goldberg, the director, I felt hope. I say now that it was false hope, because he told me that I can change. And growing up as an Orthodox Jew, being told that our physical desires can be overcome, I really believed that I can change. I didn't see any contradiction, especially not having any education, to know that it wasn't possible. And the lack of gay people inside the community that I came from only reinforced that people aren't gay in our community, and there's no such thing. So I attended JONAH and their affiliated groups for about a year and a half, going to individual sessions, individual life coaching sessions, weekend retreats, group sessions. There was a lot that went down in these programs, a lot of very unconventional experiences. But the one that I've talked about mostly, the one that I continue to speak about today, was what happened with my life coach in the last session. The life coach himself is a self-described ex-gay, and he and I were in the room, locked. The door was locked. It was one-on-one, and he started out the session we were focusing on. He was saying how when your masculinity is less than you have more same-sex attraction, or what I call gayness, my little term. And he started asking me to take my clothing off during the session, and I was very resistant. I said to him that this is really, I felt very uncomfortable. I felt very put on the spot, and I said to him, this is really not what I'd like to do. And he said that this is what was required of me to do the work in order to change, and that if I wouldn't do this work, then I would go into the category of someone who hasn't tried hard enough, that was a box that I didn't want to be in. So I continued to remove my clothing until I was standing there. I was in front of a mirror holding a staff as part of the process, as he was standing 5 feet away from me, and all my clothing came off. And then once I was standing there without my clothes on, he said that I should touch myself in my private parts as part of grasping my masculinity in the physical to represent the work that we were doing, and that would ultimately lead to the reduction of my same-sex attraction. I told him while I was standing there, it was cold, I was shivering, and I said, I'm really not comfortable with this. I'm already without my clothes, this is just not what I want to do. And he exploited the fact that I was outside of my comfort zone, and that I had to do work, and the fact that you need to work in order to change. He said that this is about your comfort zone, and you need to go out of your comfort zone and do this in order to change. And so I followed his instruction. I did what he asked of me, and the session was over about 5 minutes later. I should say that the getting undressed part took much longer than getting redressed, kind of like after a guilt-ridden hookup.